Start it off a little slower, but so right now it's just waiting for user input. This will do 4 levels, 3 levels, 2 levels, and 1. So I'll just set it for 4, and it'll just blink to confirm your selection, and then start building it. The first one I go a little slower, and then I can speed it up. But
How'd you get your lights to pulsate like that, all 4 of them?
I use the pulse instruction in a row, and they all just pulse at once, and then put a wait instruction after all 4, and just have it loop.
I'm curious as to why you're grabbing them from the back side.
Oh, from the backside first?
Yeah.
I think that's just because that was my x equals 0, so then I just added that way. Let's pick your direction. So I ran into the issue with the blocks running into each other when it was dropping it, if it picked it up slightly off center. So that's why I added a little tolerance between each block, just to prevent them from running together. So I actually have a variable in there called the spacing factor, and you can choose whatever value you want, and that'll increase or decrease the spacing. And I use a register for that. And then as it picks up a block, while it's carrying it, it blinks the light, based on what level it is. So for the first level, we'll use the amber, then it'll switch to the next light for the next level. Sometimes it doesn't always set it down exactly evenly. So because it had to loop through 2 different loops with different dimensions, because the pickup stack is a different dimension than the dropping stack, I had to do different calculations to try to get it to loop correctly. This program basically has 3 points. It has a pickup point, a drop-off point, and then just the start point, and then the rest is just using offsets to shift it. So there's one offset when it's picking it up, one offset when it's dropping it off, and it just cycles through.
How did you account for the other levels?
So it's when it completes, there's 2 loops. So one loop loops through the rows on a level, and then the second loop loops through the levels. So once it completes one level, then it adds a z offset, and then it loops through the same thing again. But I have a variable change, so instead of 4 by 4, it becomes 3 by 3, then 2 by 2, and then a 1 by 1. But it's just the same code over and over again, but with different register values.
To make it sound so simple.
It took a while to figure it out, but
At the end of the day, it's simple.
yeah, I guess so. And then when it switches level, I had to add an additional offset, so it shifted it inwards to make the level smaller. So now that this level is done, this light will stay on, and then this light will blink on and off as it picks it up, and then it'll just do that for successive levels. I tried to write the code so it was scalable, so there's register values giving the dimensions. So if you change those, you could potentially have a bigger pyramid or a bigger or differently dimensioned pickup stack and just change those register values, and it should still work. So now this light will stay on, and it's going to move to the next.
lights flash when they're done.
Yeah, when the whole thing is done, they'll flash. So, and then it just pulses a few times to let you know that the program's done. And that's it.